Hey everybody, how are you? We are home safe. Here's my Mocha baby. I'm sitting here with her and Dizzy as well. Not a lot of people probably know Dizzy. Um, and this is a video that's going to show their background. It's going to be a huge shout out to you guys. And then of course I want to start with a shout out to Care Veterinary Clinic. They're the emergency vet that Mocha went to. They're also the emergency vet that I took Doo-Doo to. And they've to Doo-Doo too. And they've done an amazing job with both of them. Of course, the conditions that both of these ladies have will shorten their lives somewhat, but certainly that we're not ready today. We've got plenty of time left with both of these beautiful girls. And Kara, I want to thank you for that. Their bedside manner, their doctor's expertise, and the way that they allowed us to have donations sent directly over the phone is so monumental. How easy is that? Number one, for me, I don't have to worry about paying and getting and da 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 da. And you guys know exactly where your money's going, and I absolutely love that. There's nothing better than that, because first and foremost, the two most important things for me with these dogs, obviously the main thing is their health, and that requires the good vets that you can work with and good food. So those are the two big things that I've wanted to do in my life for them. And Care, you're helping me do that now, so I thank you so much for that. I'll get into a little bit more at the end of the video about what they've done for you guys. It's amazing. So anyway, I want to talk about the background story of Mocha and Dizzy. They've been here since probably 2019. They came locally here in my county in Maryland. Good Samaritan reached out. They were rescued from our Humane Society Animal Control that I am very good friends with them about a month and a half before this lady reached out to me. And she not even possess them. She was reaching out for a friend of hers who was apparently being terribly abused by a man, and unfortunately so was Dizzy and Mocha. And I don't know if she was able to help the girl or not, but she was able to help the dogs, which is good enough. And so she asked me if I could take them. And of course, back then I was actually doing some adoptions out. A lot of the West Virginians were adopted out. So these two came in and they were supposed to be bonded. And the reason I got them, other than that, and kept on to them, was Dizzy. She suffers from cerebellar hyperplasia, which we know Lulu, Boo Boo also suffer from that, right, baby? And Lola when she was here. So Daisy's, oh sorry, baby. Daisy's is the little minimum compared to most of theirs. She doesn't wobble quite as much, but she's a little wobbly, little wobbly. And Mocha, I guess Mocha was just kind of more of her support dog, or so we thought. Upon getting them here at the time, she was 4, she was 8, so Mocha's 13 now. So it'll make you 9. Wow, time flies. And when we got them here, they just settled in just kind of nice. They drifted apart as far as being bonded. They didn't need each other. Of course, they love each other, but they don't have to be attached to each other's hips. And about a year and a half into this, about a year into them being here, Mocha had a seizure. Just one seizure, guys. So I took her to my vet at the time, which was not any of the most recent vets you guys know of. And this is one of the reasons I actually left them. They immediately, from one seizure only, prescribed her with more phenobarbital than Buck has. And at the time, Buck is a lifetime epileptic. He's going to have seizures for the rest of his life. And even with the phenobarb from time to time, still has breakthroughs. I didn't know much at the time, so I didn't know to not give her that. Phenobarbital can be extremely dangerous for them when it comes to their liver levels over time. You constantly check it. So you're saving them from seizures and they die from liver failure. Keppra, on the other hand, does not have these side effects. And I don't understand why that vet did not at least prescribe that to start with. So I kept Mocha on phenobarbital for 2 years, and we took her in, I think, for a dental or a checkup or something, and we noticed her liver levels were starting to raise. Well, she had never had a single seizure since, and having only one seizure, I said, well, maybe this was just something situational, and we're mismanaging her and putting her on medication she doesn't need to be on. So I took her off. I mean, I'm not necessarily kicking myself for that, because that was over 2 years ago, and since then, she's never had a seizure. So I saved her 4 or at least 2 years of liver damage from phenobarbital. So when this happened, I think I went into pretty great detail. She ended up having multiples, cluster seizures. This is bad. Anytime you have more than, according to any doctors, and I'll actually agree with this for 95% of it, I would agree with it. Anytime you have more than one seizure in a day, or several, 2 or 3 in a short period of time over the course of weeks, you need to get them in and looked at. I got some great information from the doctor yesterday. If you have a 1-year-old or less, There's some kind of bacteria or something growth in their brain, or possibly a cranial malformation. From 1 to about 7 or 8 years old, they start to develop any kind of seizures there. That is actually epilepsy. And then anything over that, as you get your older chihuahuas and you start having seizures, you need to start checking all of their organs, because it could be something systemic based off of other organs. So we're not going to take any chances. She's right at the cusp, at the end of what could possibly be epilepsy, of course having no signs up until now, or all of the stuff we found, such as the debris in her gallbladder, the debris in her stomach, which none of this is actually treatable yet, according to my vets, or the emergency vet. And then of course the infection, and she needs another dental. It could be a little infection from her teeth. It could be a little infection from the UTI that she had. But they also found the debris in the stomach. Debris. And what did they find in the bladder and gallbladder? Sorry, a coarse stomach and a coarse liver, which I guess that means the rough lining inside, and then the debris in the gallbladder and the debris in the bladder. So she's on Clavamox for the infections, and she's home safe now. So there's kind of the background story of these two guys. You know, we actually kept her here for Dizzy, and I'm so glad we did, because it looks like she needed us too. So, and this is also why many of these guys, well, they're healthy, why can't you adopt them out? Well, most of them do have underlying things that I know about, and I don't always share it, not because I'm hiding it. There's so much information, I don't think, to get it all out. And when I do get it all out, like I am now, people don't pay attention anyway, because it's too much information. So I'm glad she's here. So that's all said and done. She's home safe. Everything should be good, right, Des? Right, baby girls? So finally here, this is the big one, guys. I walked in, okay, yesterday morning was like really bad, right? Through the night before, her peeing on me, freaking out, like, oh my God, I gotta take her in. I honestly thought this was it, because the last couple of times we've had multiple seizures that fast like that, they didn't come out. And it was something life-ending. It wasn't like they should have been on anticonvulsants all along. It just happened to be their time, because whatever was shutting down the seizures were how they were manifesting themselves as far as the symptoms of what was wrong. So that's what I was planning for. I get there yesterday. They were obviously very kind and cordial. They said I could take donations again. And then throughout the day, the prognosis started to get better. Did you guys know that she actually went blind a couple times, both here and then at the vets? And even this morning when I first got her, she was not able to see very well. Now, I want to believe her eyesight's fully back now. I can see her focusing on things. But anyway, I walk in this morning, and you know, I had no idea how much money had been donated. So last night they called me at 10 o'clock saying, or called me at 8 o'clock saying she could go home at 10. Well, I can't go get her at 10 o'clock. And I said, okay, well, how much to keep her just to be safe? And obviously I can't get there, and I'll be first thing in the morning. Well, they said it'd be another $300. And that I assumed that was out of my pocket. And I said, okay, I'll just go ahead and keep her. It's better to keep her safe, and I'll just get her in the morning and pay the money. I walk in there this morning, guys, I was so overwhelmed. I'm moving around here. The total bill, you saw the first bill was $1,700. With the additional work, as I said, we came to another $850 for one thing and another $400 and some for another. So there's $1,300 plus another $300 for the overnight. Now I'm up to about $3,300, right? So I had to pay the initial bill up front. No big deal. I always do that. And then of course it offsets with the donations. You're not going to believe what I walked into this morning, guys. I am so overwhelmed and thankful for everything you've done. And this isn't even including those of you who were so generous to donate on PayPal or Venmo. I walked into finding out that there was over $7,000 worth of donations. That's amazing, guys. You know I can't stand this world right today, and I can't stand people in general. And you guys have just like restored my faith in humanity. So how it works is they went ahead and refunded my money, of course, that I deposited, and everything else. They could have written me a check, but instead I left that on account. So I actually have like a $4,000 credit at an emergency vet for, God forbid, the next emergency. I can't tell you how reassuring that is and calming that is for me to know that just walking in there, I don't have to first be concerned initially with like worrying about money, whether I'm paying it or whether I have to beg for it, because I hate doing that too, guys. I do. So they're printing me out a list and emailing it to me today, and they're gonna send it to me, and my staff is willing to get a hold of you guys some way, some shape or form. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find you, and we're gonna send you thank you cards or something. Because I'm just, man, I can't. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you. So you know, in a nutshell, I'm going to stop because you can see I'm getting to the rambling point. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for Mocha and Dizzy and all of us here. Thank you so much for your generosity and concern and restoring my faith in humanity. And what a great thank you for my Christmas present from all of you. It was beautiful. Thank you.